And Diana Hutchinson is going to evaluate John. And Diana, you would like
Yes.
to give
John
introduction?
is starting another Competent Communicator Manual, and he's starting out with the icebreaker. So this would be a great introduction for Esther. And as we all know, objectives, start speaking before an audience, deal with any nervousness you may have, find out your skills, what skills you have. Yeah, and I just can't get to this page here. Yeah, 4 to 6 minutes. Is that what you're gonna do, 4 to 6 minutes?
That's my question. How much time would you like to?
4 to 6 is what I'm going to try and hit.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Please help me welcome John. Great guys.
Thanks, Mohan. Water, water, water. Never there in the amount you want or at the time you want. So from the time I was a little kid, I have played in water. I can remember being about this tall, and the folks had a garden, and they were running water down the corrugates to water the plants. And I can remember putting little sticks and logs in that water and running down. When I got to high school, my dad at that time was a ditch rider, and I can remember that in the spring, I always got a week off of school to go out and help him pitch weeds out of the ditch as we filled the canal system. And so that was really a big deal, because not only was I out of school for a week, but I was also getting paid, which was a good deal. And as I've grown, got into engineering, and my specialty is in the water field in hydrology and hydraulics. About 25 years ago, I went to work in the Wyoming State Engineer's office, heading up their surface water division. And the one area that I really, really liked was dealing with dams, because I had the safety of dams section, and I had 2 engineers that worked for me. So the engineers that worked for me, not only did they look at design plans that had come in to make sure that the dams had been designed correctly, so that we ensured some amount of public safety during the design phase. But we also then had a safety of dams inspection program, and the state of Wyoming has about 1,400 dams that are on the safety of dams inventory. And they run from high head, which means that, or high hazard, which means that if that dam failed, there could be potential loss of life, clear down to low hazard, where if they failed, they're really only going to cause the owner a problem. So as the surface water administrator, I reserved a week every year for myself to go out to the field and be able to inspect the dams. And so in the next few minutes, I want to share a little bit with you about some of the things that I got to see when I was out in the field. This is Pathfinder Reservoir. It's on the North Platte, southwest of Casper. In the whole time that I worked in the state engineer's office, this reservoir had never spilled. And then we had 2 big years, and the reservoir spilled back to back. Now, what has ended up happening is they have the spillway here, and the water flows across and plunges back into the canyon below the dam. I will tell you that this spillway has been raised 2.4 feet to capture 54,000 acre feet that was lost to sediment. And that water is now destined, a big portion of it, to environmental issues in central Nebraska, and a smaller portion is set up for future municipal growth in the state of Wyoming. But with that spillway being raised after these spills, I don't expect this dam will ever spill. You'll never see this happening again. So I felt pretty fortunate to be out and be able to see this. This dam is actually made out of masonry. It's big chunks of granite with concrete or mortar in between. And several years ago, as they were getting prepared for this, they were looking in that mortar, and when this was built, there was a lot of dynamite around, and the contractor, to get rid of his old dynamite, put it in the cracks where the mortar was. And so they had to get an EOD team out there and remove it. This is Semino Dam, which is upstream. This is pretty unique because they have concrete that is failing in the top 15 or 20 feet of this. If the water ever overtops, that whole portion of the dam is going to fall because it's all cracked and has no strength. This is a dam up near Grayville called the Garnett Dam, and one of the problems here is it has all of the trees and fences and everything on it, and this is a dam safety problem, and there are houses just below this dam. And we've been trying to get the state engineer's office now has been trying to get the owner to remove those trees. This is Upper Sunshine Dam, and this is up in the mountains west of Meeteetse. Most of the dams we have are up in the mountains, and when you go out, it's just absolutely wonderful because you get to see all the scenery in Wyoming. This is my last slide, and this is something not to do. This guy had no rocks for riprap, and so he put tires on to try and protect from the wave action. And you can see that the wave action has moved all the tires and is eroding on the dam. And again, this guy was written up and he is fixing his dam. Now I will tell you that because 70% of the moisture comes down as snow, we need dams to capture that water to be able to provide the water at the time we need it. But the dams also have a lot of environmental problems. They cover up a lot of wetlands. There's a lot of artifacts and stuff that they cover up when they build these dams. But they're a necessity of life for all of us. So I'm happy to be a dam engineer.
Thank you, John. Okay, we have 2 minutes on the clock for the evaluation.
2 minutes?